Hi everybody, my name's Sebastian. I'm one of the co-founders at Pukka Herbs and one of the herbalists there. And I'm here to celebrate with you Seasalt's Make Time campaign to help you have a bit more space and time to enjoy the summer. So I'm going to read to you from a book I wrote a few years ago called Cleanse, Nurture, Restore with Herbal Tea. All about making herbal tea and how to get a bit more familiar with plants and how they can bring benefit into your life. So I'm going to read to you from the beginning. Part of the book, and it's called The Language of Herbs. So one of herbalism's enduring attributes is how simple it is to understand. Being based on natural designs, all of the language, systems and principles of herbal medicine are second nature to us. Or they would be had we grown up living close to nature, and in the absence of first-hand experience, a little theory will aid your practice. So before we delve into all the recipes, it's useful to cover the basics and the building blocks in order for you to learn the language of herbs and how they can help us. If you want to get a specific result, you need to know what plant or combination of plants will lead to success in any given situation, as well as how and why they might work. A useful way to understand how plants work is to think about them from three different perspectives. The first is the natural view, that they just work because they have evolved to help themselves as well as us. The second is the phytochemical view, that the plant's chemical compounds initiate a healing response in us. And the third is the energetic view, that plants have recognizable properties and characteristics that have an effect on our bodies. These three approaches require completely different ways of thinking about plants, but each can contribute to a deeper appreciation of how they work. So let's look at the first one, the natural way. The natural view is that herbs are good for us because they are good for themselves. Imagine you're a plant rooted in one spot, unable to move when faced with marauding animals, adverse weather, and invading microbes. You would work out pretty quickly how to defend yourself, or you would die. And the plants have done just that. Ever since the earliest blue-green algae cyanobacteria, things like spirulina or chlorella, channeled the sun's energy 2 billion years ago, green plants have been harnessing the energy of life. They have used this energy to flourish into mosses, ferns, fungi, and a few 100 million years later, hundreds of thousands of flowering species, all with self-protective abilities. Just as the resin that exudes from a damaged tree trunk can stop infection from damaging the tree, so many tree resins can heal our wounds and ward off infections. It is for this reason that the myrrh, which is a tree resin, was considered to be the most important antibiotic in the ancient world. Jesus wasn't just given any old gifts. As animals evolved together with the plant kingdom, they learned how to use each other for mutual advantage. For example, it's testimony to the success of this evolutionary relationship that plants have always appreciated animals' seed-spreading skills, while animal and human bodies are able to benefit from a plant's natural healing qualities. Primates and other animals use various species of herbs for specific health needs. They know how herbs for an upset tummy, herbs for wounds, herbs for pregnancy. As we learn to tap into nature's innate properties, we also learned one of the greatest secrets of life, that plants help our body and mind to heal. Our relationship with plants is so successful that the health of our cardiovascular, digestive, immune, respiratory, nervous, endocrine, and psychological systems is largely dependent on plants. How we think, feel, procreate, and heal are all influenced by the herbs and plants we eat and drink. Herbs just work naturally. And then there's the phytochemical way. Plants have developed both procreative and protective compounds, known as phytochemicals, that help them create future generations as well as protect them against damage from a plethora of microbes. For example, our good friend peppermint has evolved powerful essential oils to ward off fungal invasions, while ashwagandha root produces steroid-like compounds that build fertility, helping it to spread its seed. The great variety of phytochemicals found in medicinal plants are made from only a few chemical elements. The major ones are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Others include nitrogen or sulfur, and occasionally metal ions like magnesium or calcium. The key thing to understand, though, is that plants create a host of natural chemical compounds that have an effect on the human body and are classed as secondary metabolites. Examples include caffeine, essential oils, antioxidants, and steroids, natural plant steroids. These natural compounds are not the primary carbohydrate, protein, or fat that our body needs, but other non-essential to life, but still very important to life, molecular structures. One way to think of molecular structures is as patterns of energy in relationship. These patterns of energy carry information from the plant to our human receptors and physiological systems. You have to imagine lots of spinning electrons coming into our body, working together to change the pattern of our metabolism and our physiology. Because of the millions of years of evolutionary history between humans and plants, we can benefit from a plant's phytochemicals too. And phytochemicals are proven to work as they form the basis for hundreds of drugs. Some well-known examples include morphine from opium and Taxol from the yew tree. Amazingly, some herbs have over 1,000 phytochemical compounds found at very low levels of concentration. And given our 10 million year evolution, it's no surprise that we respond very well to a wide range of low-dose phytochemicals. If there are 1,000 compounds in a plant, and we once ate a diet of around 150 species of plants, compared with our much reduced diet today, which is 20 or so species is more frequently eaten, we are familiar with around 150,000 plant compounds. And whilst in contrast to this, modern medicine has no precedent in our evolutionary history, and while a high dose of a pharmaceutical drug may well be valuable in an emergency, herbs are the medicines we evolved to use for our everyday health. So small doses of lots of herbal compounds helps upregulate and support our digestive, immune, respiratory, psychological system. Okay, then the third way, the energetic way. Plant species have a character unique to themselves that, rather like someone you know well, has a recognizable personality. Some are energizing, some are calming, some are restorative. This understanding of how plants behave is called herbal energetics and relates to our experience of how the plant affects us. Does it heat us up? Does it cool a fever? Does it moisten our skin or dry up a runny nose? Does it rejuvenate and give us energy or weigh us down and help us sleep? Herbal energetics is about the herb makes us feel. To discover how it will make us feel, we don't just need to know what is in it, we need to know who it is. And to find this out, like a good scientist, we have to observe and learn what the plant does. Experiment for yourself and see. Some plants are lively. Chew on some ginger and you'll soon see. Some are much more mellow. Try sipping some chamomile tea, a much more balanced floral flavour. Some awaken our hearts, like a beautiful rose. Everyone loves smelling a rose. And other make us happy too. Too many herbs to mention here, but plants like lemon balm, which you can pick at the moment in your garden, is amazingly delicious. Also, a tulsi or holy basil can make you sing from the treetops. Traditional health systems, such as Ayurveda, teach us to open our senses and read the language of nature. They offer insights into how we can read plants and how we can benefit from them. For example, finding out how plants cope with extreme conditions can reveal a lot about their beneficial health properties. For example, ginseng can survive through the harshest winters, and it can also build our internal thermal heat potential. Aloe vera thrives in a hot, dry desert, and yet it can soothe our burns, add moisture and coolness to our body. Cinnamon's happy in a humid jungle, and its drying heat can help protect us from the damp and cold weather by increasing our circulation. Sweet elderberries thrive in damp forests, and they help to keep us healthy through the winter by clearing mucus from our chest and protecting us from viruses. Elderberry is actually known to protect us from 11 different types of viruses. So it's worth remembering that ultimately plants share life with us, and we have developed complex psychological and physiological systems to understand them. We just need to open our hearts and minds as we see, smell, taste, touch, and listen to life. So as you go on to make these teas and explore herbalism, Take a little time to notice how plants affect you, and a whole new world will open up. Some call this new world the life force, one that carries the innate healing power of nature. In Ayurveda it's called prana. In China it's called chi. And in the European tradition it's known as vis medicatrix naturae, the healing power of nature. I'm sure some of you have heard about in Japan the concept of Shinrin Yoku, which translates as taking in the forest air or forest bathing. It suggests that being in nature can improve your health. There is a whole new language in herbalism, and it's one you largely already know. And all you have to do is make time to be in nature, to be with the plants, and to observe what you feel, and observe where you notice the plant go when you take it, notice what it does to your metabolism, what does it do to your mood, and you'll soon learn the language of nature. So I hope you enjoy that, and take care over the summer. Bye everyone.